Gabby Petito never goes outside.
In this video, I want to analyze some of the footage we have of Brian Laundrie, paired with the available information about him, and try to build a character profile. Keep in mind that this is entirely speculative. I don't have any special knowledge of the case or of Brian personally, and at the time this video is being made, he's merely suspected of being involved in Gabby's homicide, though it's a fairly common belief that he was responsible. The footage begins with an officer in pursuit of Brian in Gabby's van. Brian is driving 45 into a 15 zone when he suddenly hits a curb.
Driver is showing some obscure driving, possibly intoxicated. Currently doing 45 miles an hour. Zone through here is 25. Oh! Subject just hit the curb. Correction, speed limit is 15. You want to place your vehicle into park and go ahead and turn it off for me?
Yeah, sure.
No, park?
Oh, it is in park, yeah.
Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, all right? What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
I'm Brian.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got the stuff, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving, I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and close your door, okay?
So far, Brian is signaling that he's rather agreeable, polite, cooperative, and virtually no threat to anybody. However, the officer detects tension between Gabby and Brian, and she's clearly distraught, so we see a shift from routine traffic stop protocol to domestic assault protocol.
I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood, I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I hate to forget an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country. And I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed. And he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like a, I don't know, he's like a downer. I don't know. We've just been fighting all morning. And he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of
told
your OCD?
told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time. And he really stresses me out. And this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty.
In this video, I'm going to try to avoid analyzing Gabby's personality out of respect, but her words and behavior provide a lot of information about Brian that we can't look past. She profusely apologizes for her emotional state, and she says she was earlier apologizing to Brian for cleaning up with a negative attitude, I guess. And she even claims she has, quote, really bad OCD. Now, I have my doubts about this self-diagnosis. You wouldn't expect a person with a severe case of OCD to be living out of a van on purpose. I say this only because it's more likely she believes she has this disorder because she's been told by somebody that her behavior and personality is unacceptable, and therefore must be a sign that something is wrong with her, and that she should constantly apologize for it. It sounds more like she was cleaning up after Brian while apologizing for it, and they still got into an argument.
What's that?
You talked to Gabrielle, right?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
Yeah.
The fact that he initiates the conversation with the approaching officer is surprising, asking a rhetorical question they both know the answer to. He then immediately dismisses the officer and tries to return his attention to the park ranger, who he's clearly building some rapport with. The park ranger won't have seen the van hit the curb, nor will he have seen how upset Gabby was when the officer first arrived. If Brian has any Machiavellian traits, he'll recognize the ranger as a potential ally and work on building rapport with him, which is exactly what we see. He tries to dismiss the approaching officer, but he doesn't seem to realize that it's not the ranger who has any authority in this situation. He's quickly disillusioned of this notion.
What's that?
You talked to Gabrielle, right?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
Yeah.
So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, alrighty? In any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her, so like I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything, so I give her time. We really had a nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go hike arches before this other time. Okay.
This is an example of how Brian lies, through obscurity and distancing of responsibility. When he says why she got worked up, he trails off into some vague explanation about their plans for the day. He clearly doesn't want to reveal the real reason she was worked up, suggesting he might have been that reason. We know this is how he lies because in a moment we'll see him repeat the exact same technique when confronted about his speeding. He trails off into a vague explanation about their plans for the day, then apologizes. He won't just say what is likely the truth, that he was speeding because he was upset and fighting with Gabby. It's very telling that Gabby is in such an emotionally charged state while Brian appears relatively calm. He is obviously good at concealing his emotional state in public, which isn't an entirely uncommon trait, but when you know that just a moment ago he was embroiled in a heated fight with his girlfriend, his calm demeanor is sort of odd. She just poured out her guts to a stranger, while he's talking about the lovely morning they had. He's not being honest here.
Tell me about those scratches on your face.
She had a cell phone in her hand, that's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere, let's just calm down for a minute because she was getting worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from me, so I got away. I was just trying to, I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go, let's just take a minute, step back and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here.
Oh, that's from a wire.
That's from a wire?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over, and then she grabbed the wheel.
What about the speed? Did she take over the... the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up. So we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike. But it's good. I'm really sorry about that.
Of course. Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry. I want to apologize.
You don't have anything in that pocket or anything like that, do you?
Nope.
Just the wallet? All right. And then, do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check your waistband? Turn around for me real quick. Perfect.
Nothing.
I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor, take a seat. All right. Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car. If you want to come with me?
No, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
You come with me, I'll give it to you.
No, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian.
Brian? Is that layman spelling?
B-R-I-N, yeah, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
L-A-U-N.
D-R-I-E.
D-R-I-E?
Yep.
Laundrie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your date of birth, Brian?
I'll say crisscross applesauce, but can I just sit in the shade because I'm bald? It's okay. I'll give you some shade. Sound good?
The self-deprecation here is supposed to be charming, but it's poorly masking toxic insecurities and a really demanding kind of personality. Consider the context. He's currently seated on the pavement with 2 officers towering over him, and he still has the nerve to try to manipulate them, as if they're supposed to care in this moment that his head might be exposed briefly to the sun. One can imagine how a person like this might behave differently when angry and alone with a much smaller individual. The self-deprecating jokes turn into nasty comments, and the target is made to feel guilt about the adult male's own bald and sunburnt head.
Slapped him first? It's on his face? How many times did you slap?
Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, November.
And then what? And his reaction was to do what?
It's gonna be out of Florida.
He just grabbed you? Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him. I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because, where did he hit you? Don't worry, just be honest. Did he slap your face or what? Yeah, just saying. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but if you know you have anxiety, look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? And we're not here to be mean to you or anything. Well, there's a first time, and then it usually. We'll go see what Brian's saying, but I think you've heard everything now from.
Quick question. You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
But only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like,
But did you grab the steering wheel and
No.
swerve or anything like that?
No. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
I will see if I can find some.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
No problem. You wouldn't happen to have any water, would you? Can I get a bottle?
Did you already give a statement to this officer?
I've got this gentleman here.
Yeah. This gentleman noticed that you had some marks on your neck. Yeah. And she's got some marks on her too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. And I know you probably already told your story. This officer is probably going to be the one handling the whole case. Do you want to listen to what he has to say? And yeah. Okay, then you tell him what happened. So, if you don't mind.
Start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning. Well, I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in BLM land for the past week or so, traveling around, and the flies here are pretty intense. So the flies have definitely been getting to her, and then my feet are dirty and everything. So I think that our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to the van, there was some dirt and stuff in the van, and I moved our food around. It was a little disorganized, so she gets a little.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Do you need any water?
It's okay.
It's hot out
We
here.
were going to get water because we ran out, but it's okay. No, it's alright. I don't like plastic bottles. It's okay. Thank you, though. But we just had a little disagreement there. Disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I was saying, no, it's okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. As long as it's cold, that's good.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to say...
What was the disagreement about?
It was, I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty. Like, I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So yeah, there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I'm sure you
I've been married for over 5 years now. So.
There's a lot of little things.
Yeah, I can go.
And
I get it.
We weren't physical before the point where I said, all right, let's just take a breather and like walk away for a minute. I'll lock the van up and I'll go for a walk this way, and you can go walk that way on the block. You know, there's that what is it called, Moonflower?
Right.
Yeah, nice areas. You can go either way. It's all shaded. So let's go for a little walk and breathe and come back. We're happy with it.
Here's a glaring inconsistency in the two accounts that's highly revealing. Brian explains how he suggested the two go on separate walks to calm down. But Gabby doesn't seem to have wanted to go for a walk. She wanted to get in the van. It sounds like Brian wanted to resolve the conflict by locking the van and going for a walk without Gabby. And Gabby responded negatively to this, obviously. So we're going to see how this situation resolves with Brian appearing to be the victim of physical abuse, but it appears to be his emotional and psychological abuse that initiated the physical conflict. It really sounds like he was just trying to lock her out of the van and go for a walk, And that's incredibly abusive and weird, and tells you a lot about what kind of person he might be.
But I'm not upset with her. She got worked up and she had a phone in her hand and the keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, like her rings. She had her rings, her phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone. So she goes off without me. But I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk, and she was trying to get the keys for me. So I was just going, just wait, back up, and that's when she hit me. And I didn't get, I don't want to push you, but I didn't get overtly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud, and like that's probably whoever's attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a. Okay, sorry.
Notice the tone of voice he uses here.
Back up, get away, just give me a.
He almost definitely didn't yell in that tone. It was more likely a nasty tone of voice in which he was yelling, and this was seen by witnesses who spoke to the police. In fact, I don't know about you, but I was shocked to learn that this timid-sounding guy, with apparently no phone, has over 300,000 subscribers on Instagram. I'm not sure how he made that happen, but something tells me there was excessive vanity and shallowness involved. We'll explore all that in the next video once more information emerges. Our final opinion about Brian's personality is going to depend on the outcome of the hunt for him and the investigation into Gabby's demise, and I hope they find him soon. So far, given the information and footage I've seen, he could align well with the vulnerable narcissistic construct, but if it turns out that he was responsible for this, then the sheer criminality and impulsiveness could make it seem more like an alignment with Factor 2 psychopathy. And then again, if we're all shocked to find out that he had nothing to do with it at all, we'll all feel pretty bad for analyzing his personality in his worst moments on the internet. We'll have a part 2 as soon as more information is released. Hopefully the family and friends of Gabby Petito, as well as the whole world that's now watching, can finally get some answers and some closure.